Hello and welcome to your infinite scrolling tutorial part 2. In the first part, we created and explored the term infinite scroll and made a mechanism to display a bunch of feed data, like posts from my Facebook page. And we got it working. It certainly does infinite scroll. As it gets down to the bottom, it does load more. But the problem is it's a little buggy, and I promised we would make it look a little better. So that's what we're going to do now. First things first is we did try to make this a two-column layout, and it wasn't working. But I did figure out why, so we need to change the if current index modulo 2 statement to if I modulo 2, because I changes in the for loop, not current index. So we're going to save this and upload it to our JavaScript folder. Remember, delete your old file first, otherwise you'll kind of screw up Google hosting for yourself. Okay, so we'll upload that, see what happens. Great, so now we have our two-column layout that does scale nicely for mobile, which is wonderful. And the infinite scrolling still does work, which is great. Super. All right, so right now we just have some text blocks. We have titles on top, text underneath, and then picture. So something that you should generally do when you're doing social media is every say module or every post thing should have a container that kind of defines that it's its own unique thing on the screen. Because if you're looking at it, it's not easy to tell which of these things are running into each other. So what we're going to do, just for basics, is we're going to put a border around each of the containing divs of these posts. And if you remember, in our JavaScript, we called those, let's see, column. We didn't actually put them in a div. We put them in each column. So instead of styling Bootstrap's class, let's make our own class, and we'll call it post column. Okay, so we can add that class onto col-md.6. So we're going to save that. We want to open up our CSS as well. Oh, looks like we don't have any. We're going to make CSS. Make sure we save it to the right spot first. We'll call it our standard overrides.css. And we want to style post column to have a border of 1 pixel solid black. Gonna look pretty ugly, but hey, it's alright. We also want to get that style sheet into our document, so css/overrides.css. Now we need to upload all 3 files to our Google Drive. Please try again later. What do you... Really? What the hell, man? Oh, there we go. Jeez. I've had bad luck with file managers in the past few days. It's been really frustrating. Okay. And we need CSS. This one we don't have anything to delete. Cool. Alright, if we reload, we should get ourselves a nice black border, which is great. Unfortunately, it really doesn't look that great because they're all snug against each other. So what I always suggest with Bootstrap is to put these in their own containing div and style that. So let's go ahead and get rid of post column. And we're actually going to make a new div. We're going to say variable post div equals document.createElement. It's going to be a div. We're going to add that same class to post div. And then we're going to append post div to column. Finally, in our place where we create the title, we'll append this to post div, and post div. Okay, let's upload that to our JavaScript and see how that looks. Really? Okay, quite a bit better. The reason this looks better is because every column class in Bootstrap has a padding by default. So we get this nice padding in the middle here. Unfortunately, we don't get it on the bottom, so we're going to have to add some padding bottom, which we can do in our CSS. Let's go ahead and do that. So to each row, we should have a padding bottom of, let's say, 10 pixels. And just kind of see what that looks like. Right, so we added a nice little gap here. Unfortunately, they're all still different sizes, which, depending on the layout you want for your site, can be good, it can be bad. In this case, that's just kind of annoying. So what we should do is we should set the height of post div to be the same for everything. Or, sorry, of post column. So let's set its height to be, let's say, I don't know, 300 pixels. Let's just set it to be 300. I'm also going to set its max height to be 300 pixels so that it knows not to go further than that too. Right? Here you go. Now everything is a nice even size. It looks a little bit better. You do have this white space, but then again, this one is a bug. So in this one, you have this white space, and you also have this blank image kind of floating over the top there. We don't really want anything to flow over. You can see it over here too. So we might also want to set the overflow of this post column to be hidden. Okay, and that'll prevent things from flowing off the top. But anyway, depending on your design, you can have these containers look however you want, and that's just some basic tips. You know, these can be a 3-column, 4-column. You can have them be 3 on desktop, and 1 on a phone, 2 on a tablet, whatever you want. All up to you. All right, let's go through and fix some of these bugs. First of all, let's get rid of these things where we have these undefined pictures. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is number 5. Let's pop open our console and see our data again. Object number 5. Okay, so it looks like this undefined will pop up if we like a link. Let's see, it happens here, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then object 9. Yeah, so whenever you like a link, it still is a post, but it'll report it in the feed. We don't really want to show likes on here. We just want to show posts. So what we can do is we can check to see if, we can say if the story is equal to Slate and Tablets Lights a link, or if the type is equal to, I think status would be fine, because here's a link, here's another link. Yeah, why don't we check to see if type is equal to status? So what we say in our parsing function is right at the top here, before we do any modulo checking, we want to check to see if current entry dot type, and then that should be is equal to status. We want to skip over it. We want to remove that from the array, and we want to subtract 1 from I. So let's do that. The reason why we need to subtract, well, actually we don't necessarily need to subtract 1 from I and remove it, but I'm going to do it because it's good practice. But we don't have to worry about it anymore. So first things first, let's subtract 1 from I. So I minus minus. Second, let's remove I from entries. So to do that in JavaScript, I think you do, I actually don't know. Remove item from array JavaScript. Looks like splice. Okay, so we need to get entries dot splice, and the index is already I, and we want to remove 1. Cool. And then we want the loop to continue. Continue means stop everything you're doing in the loop and just pretend that it's over and you're going to the next iteration. All right, so let's re-upload our CSS and our JavaScript, because we did make some changes to our CSS before. So here's CSS, here's JavaScript. My God, this folder. Look at this. It's killing me. Come on, man. Just trying to write some code here. Jeez. These things do not like me. Okay. Let's see. Alright, so it looks like we've eliminated all of those undefined. Ooh, we've got some more down here. Interesting. It worked the first time, but not so much the second time. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's item number 11. Oh, I have to pause now. That's the bell. Okay, so we are looking for why these are undefined. So it looks like we found the column. Looks like the description was not defined. So let's go ahead and inspect the data for this one. It's an array. It looks like it's got to be at least 13. Exciting homecoming week. I don't think that's it. Where is it? th. Oh, now I have to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's the 11. Okay. So this one looks like it's another type that we need to get rid of, which is link. So let's go ahead and get rid of that too. So current entry.type equals status, or current entry.type equals link. Okay. And let's give it another upload. Go away, Facebook. Ow. Oh, I broke something. What did I break? Name of undefined in line 51. What is going on? Huh. Interesting. It's not able... Which one of these posts doesn't have a name? Or is it too big? Okay, it looks like it's getting past current index.8, or plus 8, I guess. So we probably also need to make it... yeah. So we also need to add a check to see if I is greater than the length of entries. Actually, not greater than. We want to make sure it's equal to. So if I is equal to the length of entries, we want to break, which means stop the for loop in its tracks, don't do anything else. Okay, now let's try. Getting there. Debugging is an interesting process with these. It's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Okay, it still wants me to log into Facebook, which I am already done. And it is still breaking. Okay. What is going on? It's getting nothing. Style of null. Oh, I got an object back this time. What did I do? Apparently I came back and broke everything. Not really sure. This is fine. Maybe break is wrong. Maybe it should say... Let's try I is equal to I plus 8. How about that? that might automatically make it stop. I'm not sure if break does exactly what I think it does on JavaScript. Nope, it's still not working. Okay, time to pause. Problem. Actually, it has nothing to do with the type being a link. There's a lot of different link types. What it does have to do with is the description not existing, because when you just share a link, you don't have a description. So we are actually going to get rid of this if I is equal to entries.length, and we don't need that. And in here, we want to check to see if current entry.type is equal to status, or if entry description dot length is equal to 0. Okay, because if entry description is undefined, it should have a length of 0, and that'll make it and that'll make it skip. So hopefully that will work. And do the coding gods smile upon me? I hope they do. It looks like it keeps loading the same thing. That's great. Entry description dot length. I'm not sure why it keeps doing that. Maybe that's the end? It's not the end. What is going on? Length is undefined. Entry description dot length. Okay, how about instead of entry description, we do current entry dot description dot length. Let's try that. Maybe because it doesn't exist, it's not able to check the length. I don't know, but we're going to find out. Nope, still not working. Okay. How about we can check like this. The exclamation point means if current entry dot description does not exist. Let's give that a shot. This is quite more work than I thought it was going to be, but hey, that's what you get when you do this, so nothing we're not up for the task for. Aha! Looks like we almost figured it out. Putting a lot of Steve Jobs. See, I think what's happening is when we reset current index, we're taking this out. But what we're not doing... No, that should be fine. Current index should still be +8. Maybe entries isn't reloading with more entries. We can see that in our console because we're clever. Aha. See, entries is still 21. Even though we're telling it to splice, which doesn't make sense. Okay, so we can counteract this by adding 1 to current index in here. Instead of trying to subtract 1 from entries, we could add 1 to current index. It also might just be that it's at the end. I don't know. But let's find out. I've already been this far, might as well keep going. Yep, looks like it's kind of at the end of where it goes. Alright, so that's great. Fantastic. Alright, so we have some data. We've got a title, we've got some text, that's great. We've got infinite scrolling going on, also great. We have some pretty basic styling. The last piece that it looks like we need to debug is this blank picture. What are we going to do if there's a blank picture here? Now remember what I said, Facebook, what they do is they load a pretty standard boilerplate picture into the product in case there's no picture, because you don't necessarily need to post a picture to Facebook to post. Some websites counteract this by just making the user post a picture, but we can't really control what Facebook does, but we can control what we do. So let's search for just a generic placeholder image. How about a picture of a cute cartoon puppy? I like dogs, if you don't know this. We're going to get this one. Look at the schnucken. Okay. Dog. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and upload dog.jpg to our JavaScript folder. And now, when we post the image, which is over here, what we want to do first is we want to first check to see if entry picture URL is the blank one, or if it doesn't exist. Okay. So what we should do is we should set an if statement. If entry picture URL dot let's see. We need to check to make sure it's not. Is it dot blank? I think it's dot blank, or dot. The file name is blank. Should be the second one. Picture is blank.jpg. What's the next one? There is no picture for the next one. Okay, so we should first check to see if picture exists. If picture, entry picture URL, if that actually exists, which I think it does, right? Oh no, it should be current entry.picture. If current entry.picture, or we want to check to see if entry picture URL has the file name of blank.jpg. So we need to take a substring from the end minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if entry picture URL dot substring, it's going to be a long one. Okay, so it needs to start at entry picture URL dot length minus 9, and it needs to go for 9. And we need to check if that's equal to blank.jpg. Phew. Okay, so if it's either one of these things, we want image.source to be dog.jpg, or whatever name yours was. And if it's not one of those, we can go ahead and set the source to be picture URL. Okay, let's go ahead and upload that. We also are going to need to upload the image, so let's upload the dog and my.js. We're also going to need to delete the latest, or that version. Let's see. Log in with Facebook. Whoa, hey, okay. Something went wrong. Okay, it looks like it can't read anything. If current entry dot picture. Oh, we want to check to make sure. Okay, so if exclamation point current entry dot picture. Okay. All right, let's try that. Yeah, that's. We check to see if the current entry had a picture. That doesn't make sense. Oh my god. All right, there's a picture, but no dog. Picture. It's not able to find dog.jpg. I don't know why. It's hosted. Dog.jpg is hosted. Oh. No. No. Dog.jpg. What's going on? Maybe it's got to be /dog.jpg. No, it's not. Well, yeah, because it's looking... How about /dog.jpg? It's not looking in the JavaScript folder for dog.jpg. Thanks, Google Drive. Really? Really? Facebook, go away. Oh, sending request. It's still sending. Did I not upload the JavaScript? Oh man. Wow. It's one of those days, folks. It is still trying to load. Oh, there we go. Still no dog.jpg. Interesting. Blank.jpg. No. It should work fine. How about this? So the problem is it's having trouble finding the dog picture for some unknown reason. It's certainly not actual programming reason. That would be preposterous. Apparently, oh! There it is. Interesting, though, that it doesn't always load. Let's see. I don't know why it's not always loading. The first one is blank.jpg. We also need to look at the fifth one. Nope, the fourth one. Fourth one has a picture, and it's also called blank.jpg. So why isn't the dog showing up? I am very unsure. Very unsure. Just fire a test console log here every time it successfully checks that it needs to add in our custom picture. Only once. Very interesting. I wonder why it's only going once. Okay, instead of entry picture URL, let's try current entry.picture. And current entry.picture. Let's see if that works. I don't know why it would. But hey, you never know. Nope, still only one fire. Okay, how about if we log this? Every time that thing shows blank.jpg, it should be firing. Oh, I reloaded the puppy page. Okay, interesting. So, it's not actually firing blank.jpg too often. Picture.substring. Current entry.picture.length. -9. Oh, maybe this is... So, this might be my iOS getting in the way. I forgot that substrings in JavaScript are not the number of characters, but the location to which you cut these things. Whoopsie. Oh, that looked a lot better. Blank.j. We need one more. Okay, cool. So this is going to work now, right? This needs to be current entry.picture.length. I'm feeling good about this one. I'm feeling good. I am dog. There's another dog. Okay, so we're getting pretty good. I mean, come on. But we have... What is going on? It's repeating again. Get rid of that. Why is it repeating again? I thought we got rid of that. Thought we were done with it. Aha. We've done it. Okay, so it seems to be... I think it might be overwriting some of these a little too much, but hey, I don't know. No, it doesn't look that bad. Anyway, point is, we've gone on long enough, but I'm glad that you guys saw the debugging process because it's important. Debugging code, whenever you're working with external servers, is a nightmare, and this is how long it takes. You know, when you're able to do this step by step now, you save yourself a lot of frustration in the future. But at the end of the day, we have a product that loads in all my social media posts on Facebook. We have it load in a blank photo, which ironically enough looks pretty funny. It's like this dog looking over the side here, to compensate for when there's not the expected behavior of each post. We've done some very basic styling with Bootstrap and this border to define each post area. And that's all for this time. Next time what we'll do is we will explore how to make something happen when you click one of these posts, because every social media site you can usually click to zoom in on a picture or something like that, or view more details about it, and we'll check that out next time. Until then, see you later.